Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. I do hope that you're well. So this is a video for Lionsgate, and I do a Lionsgate video every single year. I have actually compiled a playlist of the most recent ones for people that are new to this channel, or indeed, if you're not new, it's still sometimes a good resource to tap back into. Because although Lionsgate is something focused around the 8-8 energy, the 8th of August, it runs for a little time before the 8th of August, it runs for a little time after the 8th of August. The truth is that a portal is a gateway, and that gateway, once open, is always accessible because time is not linear. So you can look back at the old Lionsgate work that I've done. Last year I was looking back and we were looking at the Sri Yantra symbol, Sirius, we were looking at solar activation. Previous years we focused on the energy of Kuan Yin. We've also focused on the energy of Christ consciousness, the archangels. We've done all sorts with it. And every year I never quite know what's going to happen or what I'm meant to be doing and leading you on and with in the run-up and during Lionsgate. This year was no exception. I only got the final piece of the jigsaw on Friday. So I'm recording this on Sunday. I think it's about the 6th, something like that. Yeah, it's the 6th of August today. So yeah, I received the download on the 4th, 4 days before. It doesn't matter when you watch this. You can watch it right now when you are. You can watch it on the 8th. You can watch it after the 8th. Okay, so whenever you find the time is the right time for you. What happened on Friday was that I went and had a day out. We were visiting a stately English house. It's called Athelhampton House. It's in Dorset in southwest England. It's a 15th century old manor house, and there's a lot of history associated with this particular building. It's actually the place where Thomas Hardy, one of the well-known English authors, used to visit a lot. He was there actually when the telegram came saying that World War I had broken out. It's got all sorts of stories like that linked to it. There is a priest hole hidden in the wooden panelling dating back to Elizabethan times where the Catholics were persecuted, and if you had a Catholic priest in the house, they would have to hide for fear of their life. And it was fascinating, actually. You could open this priest hole door, you could climb up it, tiny little narrow staircase, secret passageways, all of that. There's also 3 ghosts supposedly at this house. I didn't see one, but I felt energetic presence there. You can't not if you walk around such an old building. Why am I telling you this other than maybe it's interesting? I'm telling you because it was there that I received this download for what we're about to do today. This house also has gardens attached to it, landscape gardens, beautifully maintained by a lot of young people, actually. There was a lot of young volunteers there, weeding out the riverbed, mowing the lawn, tending to the flowers, the plants. But there is a particular garden there called the Lion's Mouth Garden. And it was there as I entered it that I suddenly, it's like my eyes were opened to not just appreciating the beauty of the garden, but seeing all of the medicinal tools that were in it. Now, the Lion's Mouth Garden is just one garden, which leads on to other gardens. So the second half of this video, I'm going to be taking you on a meditation stroke visualization where we go into this garden together, and I'm going to walk you through and show you some of the medicinal medicine that is in there, which energetically you can embrace and integrate into your being, as well as being able to integrate and embrace the beauty, and then also meeting the lion itself. I also feel as though we will be meeting one of the ghosts as well. But this isn't anything spooky or difficult or challenging. It will be about facing your own ghosts of the past to some degree. I haven't, as I say, I'm just going to be channeling it live, the meditation, so I'm not going to say any more about that yet. I will timestamp where it is if you want to come back and redo the meditation over and over again. But before we get to it, I'd like to explain what's in the garden and also a little bit about Lionsgate. So this year, on the 8th of the 8th, 2023, when I added up all the digits, let me just double check that I'm right. I'm pretty sure I am. 18, 16. Yeah. It adds up to a 23 numerology. So how many times have we talked about the number 23 this year on this channel? Quite a lot. I was actually born on the 23rd, so it has a particular resonance for me. 23, as I've said before, is linked into initiation, successful initiation, coming back to this planet to be of service. Now, if you're watching this, I suspect that you are one of these people. Whether you were born on the 23rd or not is immaterial. Lionsgate this year adds up to the numerological 23. So there is a degree of spiritual initiation. And it comes and is gifted to you in the garden. Okay, in the garden. I read in one of my astrological diaries as well that apparently for 2 nights on 8/8 this year, the moon and Jupiter are together from midnight. I just wanted to tune into that for a moment energetically, because if we think about the moon is linked into many things, of course, but in particular, it's linked into our subconscious. It's linked into our subconscious, what is hidden, what is veiled, what maybe lies in shadow, what we don't want to look at, our dreams, our fantasies, etc. Put it together with Jupiter. Jupiter is all about magnifying anything that is beside it. It's the huge planet. It's large. It's abundant. It's big. It doesn't hide anything. So it just feels as though Jupiter and the moon being so closely together is going to be highlighting our desires, our fantasies, our dreams, our secrets, and mysteries, basically. Also, it's highlighting mysteries. I've been very compelled in the last few days to be looking into, I suppose, cold cases sometimes. Not necessarily going to read on them, but cold cases in the news. And it's like, what actually did happen to that person, or what made that person the way that they became? You know, unraveling, trying to decipher human psychology. But equally, there's a bit of that going on with ourselves as well. What's made us the way that we are? I've been drawn to look back at some of the people from my past recently, just reminiscing, thinking of them, looking them up. And there's this energy of, wow, you know, all those years maybe spent with somebody, or a time in my life that I did this, or I was that type of person. And it's all made me who I am now, in the same way that all of your experiences, good or bad, have made you who you are now as well. So I just feel as though we're going to have more of that in this Lionsgate mouth, I want to say. The garden is the Lionsgate mouth. We're in all of that. So let's now have a look at the plants. I want to get straight into it. There's plenty of other videos out there explaining all the constellations and exactly what Lionsgate is, and I've done that every year. But obviously it is a lineup in terms of various planets, constellations. It's linked to Sirius as well. But this year I'm being drawn to do something shamanic, so that's what we're going to be doing. Right. Whilst I was walking around this garden, I was noticing particular plants. Now, okay, we all do that, don't we? But it was different. It was as though I was walking around a labyrinth. I realise now that's what I was doing. I was walking a labyrinth. I was noticing the things on the path of the labyrinth. And a bit like if you notice a crystal when you go into a shop, that crystal is speaking to you, even though there might be 100 other crystals in the shop. It's that crystal that's calling you. That's what it was like with these plants, because there were hundreds of plants, there were hundreds of flowers, there were lots of trees. Why these particular ones? And I believe, because I see the universe as just this huge symbolic place where everything has symbolism, I believe I was meant to notice what I noticed. I got home and I wrote a list of what these plants were, the herbs were. And then I thought, I wonder whether any of them are replicated in any of the more sort of plant-based tarot decks that I've got. The best that I could find is this one, which is well, no, there are two actually, but this one in particular, the Herb Crafters Tarot by Joanna Powell Colbert and Letitia Guthrie is good. It's got quite a few of them. It hasn't got all of them. It hasn't got the star of the show. In fact, the star of the show in terms of energy isn't in any of the work that I've got here. And I will say it's linked into this particular beautiful flower, which is Magnolia. So I'm going to be channeling through some energy linked into Magnolia. Thank you very much to Joe Foster, who is a very good astrologer. I will link your details below, Joe. Joe has done a reading for me in the past. Spot on. And I'm just going to, if you don't mind, Joe, just read something you sent to me. It's only a couple of lines, really, a couple of days ago after you saw my post about Magnolia. And you've said, I just read your post on Magnolia and I intuited that there would be an asteroid, Magnolia. Sure enough, there was. I looked where it was in my chart and then I thought it'd be interesting to see where it fell in your natal chart. Of course, I had to laugh. You have the asteroid tight conjunct your natal Ceres, which is the nurturing energy in Leo in the first house. It doesn't stop there, though, because 15 degrees Leo, which is where mine is the Lionsgate portal on the chart. So you have both Ceres and Magnolia on what we call a divine avatar gateway point in galactic astrology. This is where we can be a clear channel for source to bring the energy of the particular planet through. So, yeah, that blew my mind, Joe. Thank you very much. So it's perfect that I've got no information about, for example, Magnolia or the asteroid Magnolia. I'm just going to do a download and see what we get in this video on that. But before we do that, we're going to build up to that, guys. We're going to build up to that. Let's have a look at what the other plants were. So I picked them out from this deck. There are probably about 20 in here. Okay, these are all things that I saw in the garden, the Lion's Mouth garden on Friday. Metatron has told me to shuffle them, okay, and then to do a reading based on how they fall. Right? So let's hope this works. I'm sure it will. I always trust the big boss, as I call him. He never gets it wrong. So let's give it a go. I'll just start at the beginning, which is here, which is the Ace of Fire, which would be the Ace of Wands. So that's our first one, Ace of Wands. And then interestingly, we end on the Seven of Earth here, which is Oak. So it feels as though this Lionsgate, we're starting off with some burst of new energy, or we're being given some new energy, a new direction, and as though we're being asked to really go for it, and that it will end with productivity, with a ripe harvest. This card here, Seven of Earth, and the oak tree. You know, the oak tree is planted generations ago for us to still enjoy. So whatever you plant now is going to be an important seed for the future, either for your future or for future generations, okay, or for other members of your family, your tribe, your community. But it feels as though there's this burst of new energy coming in with Ace of Fire. We've also got the energy of rosemary next to it, and we've got the scythe. So it feels as though for this to happen, we have to cut out something, cut out an old part of ourself, cut away something that doesn't work, the themes that we tend to deal with a lot on this channel. Now, this card, the Corundera of Air, I might be saying that wrong, is actually the King of Swords. So the King of Swords comes in with the energy of rosemary. And that just feels as though it adds even more clarity, even more clear analytical thinking. It feels as though there are some big ideas coming in with this Lionsgate that you might be having. And you're very clear on what it is that you wish to do. Because we've got the Chariot card underneath with the energy of cedar. So, and we've also got the Ace of Earth, nettle. So there's definitely new starts coming in with these two aces. Nettle makes me think straight away of walking through a nettle field and having to protect yourself a little bit. So there's that energy here. Be careful that you don't get stung. What do I mean by that? You see, I'm doing this reading after I've done the meditation, so I know what's about to come, what you're about to hear. There seems to be a lot of emphasis in the meditation about purification, cleansing, and protection. And now I'm looking at these cards thinking that some of the new ideas you've got, the new directions you want to take, it's as though you need to keep it to yourself a little bit. Don't overshare. Don't give everything away. We're living at a time when there are big dimensional differences. Not everybody is as ethical as you. Not everybody has your same moral standards. Not everybody follows the rule of do as you would be done to. Or maybe they do. Maybe they have an energy of dog eat dog. That's what they've grown up with, so that's what they do. Whereas if you're in a higher frequency and you're trying to follow the energy of Christ consciousness, for example, you're trying to live from your heart, and you can be stung by people who don't have the same interests as you, who don't have the same heart energy as you. So just be a little bit careful with these fresh new starts that are coming, because I just see this burst of energy that is here. So we've got the King of Swords. We've also got the Queen of Fire here with the energy of time. Have we got any other kings or queens on the board here? No, I don't think we have. So we've got the King of Swords and the Queen of Fire. And in terms of major arcana, we've got quite a few. We've got the Magician, the Tower, Death, and the Wheel of Fortune. The moon sort of snuck into this reading. I have to be honest, I didn't see the Datura flower, which I believe is called the moonflower. But I put it here, rightly or wrongly, because it looked a little bit like the marigold. So that moon energy, in terms of Lionsgate, isn't the main focus. Although I did say earlier on, didn't I, that the moon and Jupiter are close together in the sky around 8/8. So maybe it's hidden for a reason. Maybe there is something to be revealed. It is actually next to the Tower card, actually, isn't it, as I look at it? So right beside the Tower, we've got the moon. So something we can't see coming. And it feels as though it's coming quickly with the Chariot as well. Also, the way that these cards have fallen out, we've got the Tower with Death underneath each other as well. And we've got the Magician and the Wheel of Fortune. There's definitely changes coming in with this Lionsgate for those that are ready for it. And by that, I just mean that it feels like it's a welcome change. It feels as though it's a welcome change. If you've been feeling stuck, then this is a time which can be very fortuitous, particularly if you embody the energy of Willow, 4 of Earth. It's shown a basket being made here, a basket being woven. And not that I've ever done that, but I would imagine it's a fairly laborious, slow process. Certainly at first anyway, when you don't know what you're doing. But even if you do know what you're doing, actually there's an art of being mindful in terms of making a basket like that, making sure that you're weaving it correctly, etc. So there's something here to do with taking your time, patience, You're in it for the long game. You know, these cards here, top and tailing, something happening, something starting quite quickly, a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of motivation, but it takes time to get there. And I also feel that there with that card, the Four of Earth with Willow and the basket making. Also, the thing about Willow is to be flexible, to not be too rigid, to not be too focused that it has to be this way. So if you're starting off a new project or a new relationship or anything really that's new, don't go into it with too much of a fixed idea of it has to be like this or it has to work like this. You might have to find compromise. There might be unexpected things that are meant to happen, different dynamics that are to come in that you're not expecting. So you can't really feels as though you can't control what is coming here, certainly what's here with regards to these cards. You can't control it because right in the middle we've got the Wheel of Fortune with the kitchen garden. And I suppose in many ways this work with me over Lionsgate is very much about the kitchen garden. It's about going and taking from the garden that which is healthy and good to sustain you. So looking at herbal remedies, plant remedies, but also just natural foods. There's nothing here, thank God, which is to do with, you know, junk food, synthetic food, processed food. It's like trying to tend to the body well. And when you tend to the body well, it's a bit like the engine of a car, then it will operate better. Do you know, I couldn't believe it the other day. I filled my car up with fuel. I've actually got an unleaded car. So I filled it up with the unleaded petrol. And then to my horror, after filling the tank up, I saw there was a notice on the tank saying, you need to check with your manufacturer whether you can put this particular type of unleaded fuel in. I guess it was a more expensive one, but also it was a higher grade fuel, cleaner, whatever, I don't know. And I thought, oh my God, I didn't check. Is the car going to work? All the rest of it. I couldn't believe the difference in the car. It's just like running on silk because it's got the right fuel in it. So we're a bit like that. We are like the car, and what we feed ourselves is, you know, very much how, you know, what we become, etc. So there's definitely something here about wholesome health to sustain this new growth, which wants to come in quickly, but is here for the long haul. Definitely feels as though if there are relationships at the moment coming back or starting, as though there is some good energy here. As long as you clear out, particularly if it's somebody that comes back, as long as you clear out the ghosts of the past. And in the meditation to come, we talk about ghosts of the past, and letting them go. So white sage there would say that, you know, it's like the plant, isn't it? You have to prune for new growth to come. This is definitely a time of having to let go for the new starts to come in. What else have we got here? We've got some beautiful scents, I have to say. The rose, mint, peach, lavender, eucalyptus, marigold, thyme. These are all rosemary. They are intoxicating smells. They're beautiful scents. So it feels as though our senses, particularly our sense of smell, might be heightened during this time as well. But like anything, it's something that has to be stimulated for that to happen. Now, I know in the days of people that were getting, maybe you still have, long COVID, some people were losing their sense of smell. One of the things you can do is you have to retrain your sense of smell. And, you know, whether it's a strong pungent smell such as clove or eucalyptus would probably do the job as well. But just like little sniffs, just to rewire basically the neural pathways. So the thing about, you know, smell the roses is actually a very positive thing to do at this time. I don't know, it just feels as though our sense of smell is going to be heightened, as though we can sniff out that which is good, that which is bad. That is both physical and also symbolic, okay? The day's coming where we need to sniff out, you know, the bullshit in our world as well. So, but let's try and keep it positive here. So we want to be smelling the roses as much as we can. What else have we got here? We've got the 9 of water, which would be 9 of cups with peach beside 2 4s. So that's nice. Because if the 9 of water is to do with dreams, and peach to me as a colour ties in to sensitivity. So what's that phrase? Tread gently on my dreams. There's a phrase that's something to do with that. There's something here about I'm feeling this privacy. It's not about being secret, but it's just to do with, I think we're living in an age where everybody just tells everybody everything. I can be guilty of that sometimes online as well, but keep some of it to yourself. Keep aspects of your life private. Not everybody has to know everything about you. Let them guess. Let them speculate. Let them, gossip if they want to. It's got nothing to do with you, actually. It's got everything to do with them. So, because what this feels like here, that's coming in with Lionsgate, feels sacred, it feels private, it feels holy. It feels as though it might be a dream that you've been harbouring for quite a long time, something you'd really like to do, or it could be relationship linked. But, not everybody has to know your business in a world where it's like everyone shares everything. So keep some parts of it private, because otherwise the wheels will come off, is what I'm hearing. We have 2 4s here. These are like energy of stability. Either side of the dream, we've got the energy of stability. 4 is always about stability. So it's just trying to keep the dream solid, protected, and going. The Empress card, the rose, it was interesting actually. When I was walking through the garden, I didn't actually notice any roses. Whether they were there or not, I don't know. So I pulled the Empress card because I wanted to, but equally because I felt she needed to be there. But it's almost as though sometimes we can't see, remember the Empress stands for fertility. Sometimes we can't see what is actually still fertile in our life. It's as though we're too focused on this, which is 4 of Cups. 4 of Cups in a traditional tarot deck is when we're focusing on what's wrong rather than what's right. So it was interesting that I didn't see the rose in particular. So look out for where you're not appreciating your own beauty. Look out for where you're not appreciating the beauty in others. Look out for where you're not appreciating what can still be fertile. It's a bit like going into the garden, and you might look at it energetically or physically, and it's as though there are things there that might look half dead but actually aren't. With a little bit of love, with a little bit of TLC, they come back to life. In fact, I've got a great example. I've got a peace lily, which I usually have in my office. It wasn't doing too well. Do you remember I told you about it a few videos back? It was wilting, its leaves were all yellow. Then we went to France and I came back and it was just in a terrible state. And half of me thought, God, should I just get rid of it? It looks terrible. And we've nurtured it downstairs. It's got 4 beautiful new lilies on it. It looks really happy because it's in the right environment. It's had tender loving care, basically. So isn't that symbolic also in terms of parts of yourself that you might just have thought, that's gone. I can't do that anymore. Used to be able to do that. Used to have that talent. It's gone. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe with just a bit of patience, with a bit of practice, you can bring things back to life. One of my daughters actually years ago, she used to be quite good with the flute, used to play the flute, and we just found it the other day in the cupboard up there, and she started to practice it a little bit, and it's coming back. But again, it's not going to be given to you on a plate. You've got to put the work in. So this Empress here, I think, is reminding us that, again, this all feels like what you put in is what you get back. And remember, Lionsgate goes from Lionsgate to Lionsgate. So really what I'm reading for here is the year ahead until the next Lionsgate. So use it or lose it is what I'm hearing in all seriousness. Lose it or use it. Lose it or use it. Use it or lose it, whichever way round it goes. Okay. Sorry, I've done like 50 minutes of meditation, so I'm a little bit like spaced out, but I just want to get as much as I can for you for this Lionsgate. Anything else that we've got here? How many aces have we got? We've got those 2 aces we've seen. Have we got another one? No, we haven't. So we've got a couple of 4s. We've got a couple of 7s here at the end as well. Eucalyptus and oak, 7 of air and 7 of earth. What I like about this deck is actually it's very positive. 7 of cups usually in the traditional tarot, I always feel is a bit of a warning card, because it's like, be careful which cup you choose and all the rest of it. There can be you know, bad stuff in there. But here we've just got, what is this? We've got the essential oils, we've got the book open, we've got the lotions, the potions, it's all going on. It's all about the energy of eucalyptus. I actually feel as though I ought to maybe look at what the book says about this one, because in the meditation to follow, you're invited to actually go into a eucalyptus tree. So this feels as though it's one of the key energies that we're dealing with. Let's have a look at what it says. So 7 of air, eucalyptus. It says, do not be swayed by popular opinion. Respond with integrity. Yeah, I was really feeling that. Did I say it earlier in this video? I think I did. Something along the lines of, or if I didn't say it, I was definitely feeling it. When all this information and download came in with regards to, we want you to talk about plants and herbs and go into a garden, I was like, what? No one else is doing that. Everyone else is focused on Sirius and the galactic energies and all of this. And I was like, no, that's what we want you to do. And you have to trust in what you're given, even if it goes against what others are doing. Doesn't mean what they're doing is wrong either. Everyone's given different pieces of the same jigsaw. So I like that. So do not be swayed by popular opinion. It says a copper still, so this is one we're looking at, sits next to piles of old aromatherapy books on a sunny table outside. Sunlight bounces over the scene. A warm breeze pushes eucalyptus leaves across the books, and the large eucalyptus tree nearby shudders with delight. Information is key to understanding. Trust in reason, discern fact from feeling, and when your assumptions are challenged, learn more before taking further action. Eucalyptus teaches us that what comes easily usually comes with a hidden cost. Okay. It is often said that the greatest enemy of learning is not ignorance, but the illusion of knowledge. Yeah, I was picking this up. It's like the next year, although we're going to get off to a bit of a flying start with this Lionsgate, it can't be rushed. There are steps that have to be gone through. In fact, the person that rushes in isn't going to succeed. This is asking you to, whether it's a work thing, whether it's about you just trying to improve an aspect of your life, just to keep turning up every day and keep going. Small steps every day lead to big rewards at the end, which is the 7 of earth there, okay? But there is a degree of, I don't like the word sacrifice, but it's the only word that's sort of coming to me with this death card here. There is something that you need to let go of, but when you do so, there's a big turnaround here. There's a big turnaround. Any card I haven't mentioned yet, then I'm going to pull a couple of clarifiers. I think I've mentioned them all. I haven't mentioned 9 of earth. Interesting, the 9s are either side of the Queen of Fire. 9 of Pentacles, apple, 9 of water, peach. So, yeah, just look at how the numbers have all sort of come together. 7, 7, 9, 9. It's the same message. I'm just getting the same message over and over again from this spread. 9 of earth, you're nearly there. You've nearly succeeded. You've nearly produced what you need to produce. From the fire, from turning up day in, day out, following your dream. It's all the same message. Okay, let's pull a couple of clarifiers or just additional messages, because I did pull these cards last night. So, okay, let's just ask Metatron, is there anything else that we're missing here? Anything else that I need to say here? We have the world. 21. No, not really. He's saying you've said it. End of a cycle, the world. And we've also got justice on the bottom of the deck as well. Cannabis, which has to be said is illegal here in the UK. But I'm seeing Bob Marley here in this energy here as well. And the peace pipe. But anyway, we have the energy of the world. Pachamama. There's a natural cycle closing out. It's big, actually, for Mother Earth as well as us. So do the meditation that is going to follow, either in this video or in the next, and help yourself to embrace that change. Let's bring in a couple of charms to finish off this mini reading. Let's see what we've got. We've got the feather. We've got the wheel. Take the wheel. We've got the tree. We've got the fairy, which represents elemental energy. We have the angel that are always with us. We have the seahorse, comes up virtually in all my readings at the moment, the element of water. We have the elephant, which feels as though it's Ganesh, removing obstacles for us. We have the fish, more energy of water, but equally to me the fish is Christ consciousness. It's the earliest symbol of the Christian faith was the fish, not the cross. And we have the apple. What is the most ancient symbol? Probably the apple. We're back to the tree of knowledge, the tree of fruit. Pick wisely from her and she will replenish you. Okay, going to leave that there and then we're going to segue into the meditation. Bye-bye for now. Bye. So let's walk this labyrinth together then with these three masters present with us. The energy of Metatron, Mary Magdalene and Merlin. And before we begin to walk together in this garden, let us fully integrate those three energies. So firstly with Archangel Metatron, the white ray, bringing down an energy of purity, grace, new beginnings, renewal, compassion, cleansing, and love. See that white light coming down, shielding you, holding you, protecting you. At your feet, you feel the energy of Mother Earth. You feel the energy of Merlin. Merlin opening up the doorway to greater access to the beauty of nature, her secrets, her blessings, her healing. Merlin reminds you that the earth is always able to renew itself, always endures, always wins, has fortitude, strength and resilience built into it, just as much as you do. We welcome the energy of Merlin. We welcome the energy of Mother Earth, the fourth M. We welcome the energy of Mary Magdalene into the heart, the green ray, the pink ray, interlocking, mingling, swirling, opening up your heart to greater love, greater truths, greater awakening. We have the energy here of Metatron, of Mary Magdalene, of Merlin, and of Mother Earth. And on this date, and at this time, we are gathered to enter the garden together. A beautiful garden, designed by God, designed by greater spirit, designed by man, designed by woman, designed to please, inspire, unify, heal, and renew. You stand on wet grass, dew from the morning still present on the soft, wet grass. You feel the dampness of the grass between your toes, on the soles of your feet, the nourishment that the grass and Mother Earth and the soil below brings, the grounding, the deep respect for being here at this time, in this place, You see before you a brick archway, old, with moss, some damage, but still standing, weathered by the storms, the rain, the wind, the cold, the heat, but still standing. A perfect brick archway. You walk through and you enter into a series of gardens that all run off each other. You can go through the gardens in any order that you choose, yet there is a suggested set pathway where you will experience and be able to witness the most. You are encouraged to walk through in the order that follows. But if at any time you wish to spend more moments in a particular place, or to go back, or to go on, you are welcome to. There are no rules here. There is just a sense of freedom, of being able to breathe, of being at peace with yourself, with nature, and with others who may be there. Others in front of you, others behind you, noticing how they may stop to smell a particular flower, to touch a particular leaf. Each person in their own little world, talking to and communing with the natural world. So we begin and we walk into the first garden through the brickwork arch, and in front of us is a beautiful fountain. Beautiful fountain in a circular pond. The pond has a green film over the top of it. Some weed has accumulated there, but the water is still rising highly and sprinkling its drops onto the pond's surface and the surrounding grass. You can see the refractions of sunlight as the droplets hit and jump in the sky. The sound of the water, the smell of the fresh, clean water, the dragonflies darting across the surface. Your senses take all of it in and are nourished by it. In this part of the garden, there is just the fountain, the centerpiece. Take from its waters what you need. See yourself as the water. Become at one with it. From this space, there is another archway. Archways leading to more gardens, more archways, more gardens. You go to the archway that beckons you, and you walk through. This garden that you find yourself in is laid out in a different style. There are hedges that have been shaped into large pyramid structures. 8 pyramid hedges lined up in rows, pointing up to the sky, sturdy, healthy, strong. You notice that you can enter the pyramid hedge there is a bench within the pyramid. You go into it, you sit upon the bench, and you find yourself in this shaded, dark place. But there is no fear. You can smell the freshness of the hedge. You can feel the energy of the birds that are within the hedge, nesting, moving, flying into it, flying out of it, feeling it too as a place of refuge. You put your feet down on the cold floor, cold, slightly damp floor. And again, you make peace with the earth and the coolness that is there on what is a warm summer's day. When you've had your moment sitting in this place, you walk out of the pyramid hedge and you notice the other 7 pyramids there. You just marvel at their size, their shape, the fact that human hands have cultivated them into this shape. The pyramid representing strength, the mountain, the climb, but also the reward. The perfect symmetry, the symmetry of nature, the beauty of order, of structure. You reflect on the structure and the order that you have in your own life. If it is too rigid, allow this Lionsgate portal to create some more space and flexibility within your timetable, within your weekly structure. If you need more structure, allow your higher self to guide you to healthy routines and things that you can do to enable yourself to become stronger, healthier, more able to take the knocks of life, maybe. So dwell on the meaning of structure, the meaning of order, as you sit here in this garden. Become at peace with the fact that a degree of order is needed in every life. Your body requires order. Your body requires the right nutrients, the right food, the right thoughts, the right exercise, the right regime for it to be as well and operating as efficiently as it can. Promise yourself this Lionsgate that you will gift that to yourself. You move on, you feel another gardening beckoning, and you arrive this time at a lawned area with a rectangular, long pond. Not circular, this pond is long and rectangular, and it is covered with lily pads. Some of the lily pads have the lotus flower upon them, others do not. But all you can see in front of you is a sea of lily pads, lotus flowers, and water. Take in the energy of this scene, of this piece. Think about the struggle that the lotus flower has to bloom. It has to find its way through mud and silt to bloom. So too do you have to do this in your life. The struggle is part of what makes the journey worthwhile. The struggle helps build the character and who you have become. The lessons you have learnt have made you wise. The times that you have forgiven have made you more loving, more gentle. The times you have given, you will be rewarded. The times where you have struggled has always been seen by Spirit, and your strength and your resilience to keep on going is acknowledged. Spirit bows to you at this moment. Take as long as you need in this part of the garden with the water, the lily pads, the lilies, the lotus. When ready, you walk through another archway. But this archway is not made of stone, it's made of bamboo. But it's an archway all the same. It leads to a herbal garden. Some of it is overgrown, wild, untended. Some of it has been tended to in boxes, containers, trellises. The wild at peace with that which has been tended to, both growing alongside each other, the wild and the more conformed energy. You notice the herbs, you notice the fruits that are in this part of the garden, the apples on the tree, the particular herbs that call you. The sage in particular draws your attention. There is somebody ahead in the garden who is looking at the sage, pointing it out. How prolific it is. You smell it, you touch it. You understand its significance as a purifier. You allow the aroma of the sage all around you, grown in the wild, to purify your very being, to let go of what you need to let go of, to release, to surrender, to let go, to let go. You notice the dandelion seeds blowing in the wind, and the dandelion seeds scatter, go where they are meant to. So too what you release scatters, but is transmuted instantly to love. You breathe the sage in. You notice more herbs, more plants, the aroma of lavender filling your nostrils. Its relaxing scent, its soothing scent, calming your nervous system, taking away the tension, the stress, the to-do list. The lavender requires and calls you to lay down amongst it. Its violet lavender shade filling the room where you are now. The scent of it filling the room. The lavender helping you to relax, to relax, to relax. The next plant and the next herb that you see is mint. You break off a little piece of the mint again growing prolifically, and you put it onto your tongue. And your tongue knows that this is something to help your digestion, to help your stomach, to help your power center, to soothe the intestines, to soothe the solar plexus. The invigoration of mint. You also breathe in its scent and it invigorates your mind. It helps to stimulate your mind, your memory, your thoughts, to bring clarity to that which is actually important, and to that which is not, you let it go. You feel alert, you feel awake, you feel ready to tackle your life, to study, to travel, whatever it is that you need to do. The energy of mint brings your senses alive, your passion alive. You see the raspberries, bountiful on the bush. Again, you just appreciate the harvest that nature brings. The beauty of the colour, the lushness of the colour, the juice that when squashed between the fingers stains your skin. How powerful is the energy of raspberry? You find a drink. It's a raspberry drink from the crushed fruit. You drink a little of it. You give thanks to Mother Nature. You give thanks to the sun and the rain and everything that has helped create this fruit and this moment for your replenishment. You see the grapes hanging in the outbuilding. Not quite ripe yet, but it brings a memory of the energy of pleasure, of fertility, of luxury, of indulgence, in balance, the energy of fun, the energy of togetherness, the energy of abundance. You move out of the herb garden and the fruit garden, replete, and you enter a walkway. And this walkway is lined by green foliage covering it, trees either side, completely sheltered from the summer sun. You walk through this cascade of lush greenness. You can feel the energy of the green ray, the healing, the replenishment, the sense of being able to breathe and be who you are. You are accepted by nature at all times. Nature loves you. Nature is your friend. Nature is within you, and you are within her. You are alone walking through this pathway of trees, but you can see at the end of this pathway, which you don't really want to ever end, but you can see at the end there is a statue. You can't see what the statue is until you get closer. But as you reach the end of the pathway, you see that the statue is of the three graces. The three graces. The daughters of Zeus, representing youth and beauty, mirth and elegance. Whatever age you are, wherever you are in life, within you is the spirit of a child of the universe, a child of God. Your soul, however old it is, remains young in God's eyes, also beautiful within God's eyes. The child within you, beautiful. Your soul within you, beautiful. The three graces, the energy of them, remind you of the elegance, the beauty of life. They remind you of community, coming together with tribe, enjoying each other's company. They represent the energy of the divine feminine in all her beauty, in all her ages, in all times. The energy of Mary Magdalene is with this statue. As you stop and you put your hand upon its cool marble, and you take in the energy of the three graces. You take in the energy of Mary. You become at one with your own divine feminine energy within. You recognize the divine feminine energy within each other. You make your peace with it. You acknowledge it. You appreciate it. We're making our way to the final garden, which is the Lion's Mouth garden itself. So we take some steps onward. And this time there is another archway. This is also brick, but it's old brick, old stone, ancient stone. You walk through the ancient stone archway into a courtyard. This is the Lion's Mouth garden. It is made up of Mediterranean herbs and flowers. And within its centre is a giant eucalyptus tree. A rainbow eucalyptus tree. The eucalyptus tree bark naturally will strip itself from time to time, and some of these pieces of the bark are lying at the base of the tree. You pick one up, you break it and crush it in your hands, and you can smell the strong scent of eucalyptus. Again, bringing an energy of cleansing, protecting, and purifying. It links you also to the indigenous ones, the indigenous elders, those who truly understand this sacred tree, this holy tree, revered by many around the world, particularly Australia. It asks you to spend a moment with it. And you notice around it 2 benches. And on one of the benches sits some of your ancestors, some of whom you recognize, some of whom you don't. There is also another bench, and this is made up of guardians, guardians of the tree, guardians of earth, guardians of this planet, guardians of you. It is a special moment to be in the presence of such greatness, of such wisdom, of lives that have been lived, of teachings to be imparted. But all are gathered around this eucalyptus tree. You notice there is an entering within the tree itself. And Merlin is there guiding you into the tree, a hollowed out place within it. And very much like you sat within the pyramid earlier, this time you sit within the tree, the eucalyptus tree. Just feel the energy of this beautiful place. The tree is vast, it is tall, it reaches up to the heavens. It is strong. It is powerful. It is you. Again, you are cleansed, you are purified. You let go of whatever you need to let go of. And again, it brings in protection. Spend as long in there as you need to. You may rest there, you may sleep there. You may go there at any time. This is initiation, successfully completed. Not all are invited to this tree. Not all are welcomed into this place. You have to have earned your right to be there. You have earned this right by being a loving citizen of this earth, of trying your best, of failing and then getting up again, of carrying on, of striving to be a better human being. Again, nature acknowledges and thanks you for this. After some time, you come out of the tree's hollow. The beings on the benches have gone. They were there to witness this moment, but have now left. Standing in the courtyard is now the lion. You and the lion at one. The lion recognizing you and you recognizing the lion. Both inhabitants of this planet. Both here, right now, at this time. You go towards the lion knowing there is no fear from this animal. This lion is a symbol of strength and courage and determination and power. It is there to help you, not to hurt you. You stroke its mane. You look into its eyes. You see only love reflected back. Love and power reflected back. Love and strength reflected back. As you look into the lion's eyes, your own resource center, your power center is filled up with strength for the days to come, for the months ahead, for the following year. You take your fill of this lion's energy, of its strength. It lies down at your feet. It snoozes in the sun. It knows there is no threat around it. It knows that you are its friend. And it is safe just as you are safe. You sit on the bench and you just spend a moment with this lion. You see yourself in this lion. After some time, you become aware of another doorway in this garden. It's set back a little bit. It's a wooden door, and it opens. It opens, but nothing had opened it. It opened itself. You see coming to you this silhouette and the outline of a woman. This lady is one of the ghosts of this place, of this garden. She walks its labyrinth in the same way you do, to find peace, to be healed. She isn't lost. She is a guardian of this place. We are surrounded by spirit all the time. In every room that we go into, there is spirit. Do not be frightened by me, she says. We are always around you. If you open up your eyes and your senses, you will find us. I represent a forgotten part of yourself, and I represent a ghost, maybe from your past, a fragment of yourself that you have forgotten, a ghost of somebody from your past that you wish to. Make peace with whatever it is now. Make peace with the ghosts from the past. Make peace with the fragments of your past self. Do not be frightened by spirit. Do not be frightened by spirit. Everything is energy. You are energy. I am energy. Everything in this garden is energy. The house is energy. This portal is energy. Make peace with the past. Know that you did your best. Know that you have passed with flying colours. That initiation is successfully completed. Thank the lessons that were there. Embrace the opportunities that are to come. And with that, she floats through the doorway she came. Her message imparted to you. She leaves. The door closes. You go to sleep, and as you wake, you notice the lion has gone. The lady has gone. The tree is still there. The plants are still there. The path is still there. It is starting to draw a little bit cooler. So you gather up your things and you walk out of the garden. And as you walk out of the garden, you come to the great house. And around the house is the Magnolia tree, 300 years old, growing up and beside the 15th century house. There are 3 magnolias in full bloom. 3. Here just for you today. You wouldn't dream of picking the flower. The flower belongs to the tree. The flower belongs to the house. The flower belongs to this land. But you can look, you can appreciate, you can breathe in its scent. It represents, again, an aspect of yourself It brings in an energy reminding you of simplicity, the importance of simplicity, to not overcomplicate your life, to lead a simpler life, to downscale your life if need be, to again let go that which is superfluous, to focus on that which is important, that which is meaningful, that which is holy. You are reminded of your holiness, of your sacredness, of the uniqueness of this time on the planet, your time on this planet, that is limited. Just as the flower itself blooms for just 4 days, so in your lifetime, you have a set number of decades that you will be here. Make the most of them, the magnolia flower tells you. Cherish them. Cherish the moments. Cherish the journey. Honour all of it. Embrace all of it. Every moment, every second. Embrace it. Also bloom as widely as I am. Show the world the full extent of who you are. Show the full extent of why you came. Why now? Do not hide your light. Do not hide away. Show the world who you are. And as you receive this message from the magnolia flower, you notice the lion is back by your side, and it nods its head in approval at the message. Be who you are. Show up. Do not be afraid. Bloom in your entirety. Be unique, be individual. No other person on this planet can be you. No other person has within them what you have. You are unique. Never try to be anybody else. Be yourself. Be unique. Be the flower that blooms. Okay. And with that, you take a step back. You also notice to your left-hand side, beside the house, a dovecote. And there are doves nesting within it. Beautiful white doves. Again, holding the energy of peace. Looking out for peace. Harbouring the energy of peace. Be that, they say. Be that. Be that. Okay. So everyone, please now just move your hands, your feet, your body. Shift your position. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And open your eyes. Giving thanks to the energy of Mary Magdalene. Giving thanks to the energy of Merlin. Giving thanks to the energy of Metatron. Giving thanks to the energy of the lady in white who appeared as a ghost. Giving thanks to the magnolia flower, all of the plants, all of the herbs. Giving thanks to the lion. Giving thanks to Creator for making you you. Okay. Right. Are you back? Just going to spray now a bit of this Merlin spray. Because it's grounding. It's a good grounding one. Okay, guys, that meditation was about 44 minutes long. Didn't realise it was going to be quite that long, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. You can listen to it again. I might do another video on the back of this, but I think I'd like to leave this video where it is. I'd also just like to show you, because again, it's grounding, the lion energy that may or may not look like this. This is the lion. And yeah, this painting, of course, is from the Christ Consciousness deck. So this is our lion card. And maybe it'd be nice to end this reading, this meditation, with some words from that lion. So let me just grab the deck. Thank you to everybody that has bought the new deck. Me and Jane are very grateful. By the way, just to try and bring us all back down to earth, one way you can support my work is we have actually, obviously the deck itself, but equally I'm selling prints of this painting, the lion, with about 7 other prints in my shop. I'll link it below. They come in a box. Let me just show you actually. I got them to hand. They come in a box. Jane did them for us actually, because they make quite nice altarpieces and, you know, or just to have in your home. So this is one of the sets we sell, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's got 7 other prints in it. One of which is the Jesus print, which normally is behind me. They're A4. They're done on nice card. Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. Holy Spirit. Love. And the lion. But make sure you're choosing the right set, because we've got, I don't know, we've got about 3 or 4 different sets to choose from in my shop, including ones with the Metatron prints as well. So, but anyway, I wanted to mention that because obviously Lionsgate, let's mention the lion painting. It's beautiful, isn't it? I think Jane did a wonderful job of that. So let's just see what I wrote with regards to the lion, because I would have written it a couple of years ago, and to be honest, I can't really remember. But hopefully I'm sure it will be appropriate for this video. What card number is it? I can't remember what number the lion is. What number is he? Oh, is he 8? Let's see, would it be 8? No, 8 is Holy Spirit. Sorry, guys. There he is. Card 46, Lionheart, stand firm. So, oh, right, yes, it's reminding us to be lion-hearted. So being lion-hearted means to be brave and determined. While this is a nice little, I remember this now. While this is synonymous with acts of courage regarding heroic feats, such as climbing a mountain or saving someone from disaster, there are other ways it can manifest too. Indeed, if we reflect on the lion from the film The Wizard of Oz, his journey to find courage saw him battling his fears. He feared his own shadow, although really it was standing in his power that he feared. He eventually found his lion heart, helped by his friends, since none of us are entirely alone on our own yellow brick road. The person who succeeds and pushes through his panic, shaking inside and feeling vulnerable, is just as worthy of the top prize as the one who appears to master life more easily. Indeed, we often put others on pedestals thinking they have superhuman powers, but this is an illusion, since everyone fights some internal battle. With what one finds easy, another finds difficult. We hold all emotions within us and have similar qualities and capabilities. Learn to integrate the many positive qualities of the lion, since it will help you now. Yeah, I mean, I've written quite a lot more, but I think that's the main thing I wanted to bring out, that, you know, it's we all have these fears within ourselves. But I do hope that today's meditation helped you, and I hope that you have a great Lionsgate. I'm going to leave it there for now. Please like and share this video. Thank you very much. It helps get it out to new people who've never heard of the work we do here. And it's a nice way of just sort of saying thank you, just to give it a quick like if you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much, everybody. See you all soon. In the next few days, I'm going to do a twin flame video because I've promised that, and around 8/8 is a good time to do it. It won't be up probably by the 8th, but it will be hopefully up by the 12th, which usually is when the corridor starts to fade out a little bit. But remember, time is not linear. Also, I'm going to be doing a video soon with the next channeling from William T. Steed, following on from the Blue Island work that I've been doing. That's going to be, I think, really interesting as well. So lots coming up. Take great care of yourself. I love you all very much. Bye-bye for now. Bye.